This is insane. I just can't believe this. Guys hopped out of the car because he thought we were going to roll it. That's just put a call over the radio for help. Lost a moment of concentration and he's gone down over the edge of the bank. Have you ever heard of Gunshot Creek car? They're basically about to do. Can't believe this track we've stumbled across out here. We have made it down into Yalwal, down the bottom here at Wombat Flats or something it's called, down on the creek. Quite a nice little creek that runs through here, sandy bottom, very shallow though, not much room for swimming, but you can walk along and cool off a little bit. We got here onto Dean's Gap Road and then we came down Mint Brush Fire Trail. That was the one I just filmed then, which is quite, you know, quite a basic fire trail down. A few sort of little technical bits, but nothing too challenging. Then you come down to the bottom, there's sort of tracks everywhere down here, but you know, just chill here and cool off for a bit, and then we might go for a bit of a drive around and find a camp somewhere. And then yeah, there's heaps of tracks. You got 6-stage, Monkey Gum, Flex Track, Rock Garden, Power Lines. I don't know, there's tracks out here everywhere. We should camp here. Just set up the rooftop tent right in the middle of the creek.
Yeah, let's do it. What's the problem?
Well, too bad if it rains and we get washed away down the river. Straight up out of the creek and into it. I don't know where this track goes. We'll see. It just kind of loops around the creek and then back to the other side, try and do a little loop. Everything out here is quite insane, I think. Also, the cicadas are just brutal today. Have you ever heard of Gunshot Creek car? They're basically about to do.
What does Gunshot Creek mean?
Just like a vertical drop off into the creek.
It's not really vertical.
Well, it gets pretty steep, bro. And then there's a big hole here as well that the car drops in. Jeez, this is steep. Oh. That was quite the drop off, that one. Jeez. Spotted this little flex track here they always talk about, just basically monster wombat holes to flex you out through. It only goes for 100 metres or so, but we'll drive up here and see how it goes. I'm keen to see the lean and the flex and everything with this new train canopy on. Some massive holes on this. Good fun though, but geez, I'm going to get some lean here. It's a little bit scary. Goodness, I literally thought this car was going to roll. I didn't even really touch the accelerator through that, I just let it idle through. think that's enough wombat holes and flexing for one day. Better go find ourselves a camp. Found ourselves a nice little camp spot here. The river or creek, whatever you want to call it, it's only just down over there, and there's a big wide open area. There's heaps of campsites scattered throughout this whole area really. You're not going to struggle to find anything. But those cicadas have actually dropped off, which is nice. You can hear the birds and the breeze now. I'm so hot and sweaty. We're going to set up camp. Let's go cooking with Kai. I'm not going to light the fire or anything just yet because it's still pretty warm. Going to cook up a little bit of fried rice for dinner.
Cooking with Kai episode, who knows?
Just cooked up a little bit of rice, it's sitting over there, and then we're going to fry up a few bits of halloumi, fry up some egg, cut up all the veggies nice and small, fry them up too, then we'll have egg, halloumi, veggies, add the rice in, fry it all up together, fried rice. Easy. Alright, that's the halloumi done. Put a bit more oil in, cook a heap of eggs. I don't think the chef eats all the food before it's ready.
Yeah, he does.
Is that going to be part of the service when you go to people's houses?
You're going to get no food.
Dinner's ready. I ate it all. You're getting nothing.
And you don't get your money back. I can't have $15.
No money back guarantee. We got our egg and halloumi. Now we'll start frying up all our veggies, cut them up nice and small. Red onion, broccoli, carrot. Those cicadas are coming back noisy again. Got all our veggies in there. Add the halloumi and the egg back in. Stir it all round. Add back in all the rice that we cooked earlier. And you got to mix it all together, Kai.
I feel like all that rice is going to go out.
Add in some sweet chili sauce, mix it around, fry it up for a bit, and we're ready to eat. Alright, how's dinner looking, Master Chef Kai? Just about ready?
Yeah, I didn't say so myself.
Just about all packed up camp here this morning. Those cicadas started again at about 5:30, just so noisy. They just come in these waves. Here they go again now. It's going to be quite annoying on this video, but there's not really much I can do about it. It's either just deal with it or no video at all. Didn't even end up having a fire last night. It was just so hot. We just sort of chilled and then went to bed. The plan today is to tackle monkey gum, the infamous monkey gum trail, which I've never done before, and I've heard mixed things. Some people say don't do it on your own, and some people say you'll be right, but it's definitely challenging from what I've heard. I've got all the recovery gear ready, but we'll head up that way and see how we go. This is Wombat's flat track, I think it is. So we came from Wombat Flats, heading down to the start of Monkey Gum. You're pretty much in the valley here. You got a big mountain sort of line there and a big one over there. We're just winding our way through the valley, and then we head up that way up Monkey Gum. This hasn't been anything too hard so far, but a nice like fun drive with plenty of flexing and little rock steps and ruts and that. We come to this massive washed away section here that I had heard there was a couple of these, or one or two, I don't know, on this track. So this is obviously the first one. Fairly steep drop in here and some big holes, and then up out the other side. Too steep to even walk down.
Yeah, I can't walk down.
How was that? I didn't roll. You'll roll coming down.
Yeah, probably.
keep on going and see what's next. This is all just warm up for monkey gum. Only a couple hundred metres down the track and we're on to the next one of these washouts. Sort of dropped in and straight back out the other side there. The only thing I don't like is that's all wet. There's a group in front of me, half hour ahead of me maybe, and so it's all wet from them, which means it's going to be a bit slippery getting up out of there. Oh, we're up that one too. That was first gear low with the rear locker in, pretty much nearly red line, just to make sure I get up. I didn't want to come to a spinning stop because it's sort of off camber. I didn't want to go like sliding sideways back down it, so I really wanted to make sure I got up there. That's sort of the end of that Wombat flat track. To come down here and drop onto this creek, and then we travel along there for a bit and then straight up Monkey Gum up to the top of the mountain. I don't think it's a super long track. It looks like it's only a K or a K and a half on the map. I'm sure it'll still be a couple of hours doing that K and fair few hectic sections. We're gonna have a swim here and cool off.
It's really gonna take a couple of hours.
Maybe, yeah. Another one of Dad's dumb decisions. This whole bushland area out here was destroyed by fires last Christmas, maybe 13-14 months ago now. That's why it all looks like this. All the trees are black and then you got all the green regrowth coming through. The fires just ravaged this area, and then only a month or two after the fires they had massive floods out here as well, so I think it was a fair bit of work to get these tracks sort of open and drivable after all the trees across them from the fires, and then all those washouts and everything. They had to make new tracks from the floods. But yeah, it's all coming back to life out here now. Nice little cool off in the creek back there, but I'm already just dripping with sweat again. It's so hot today, just from running that camera around a few times on that hill climb there. A few little nerves taking it on today. The main thing that is just to take it nice and slow, take it easy, just use that rear locker, try crawl everything, pick those lines. Don't want to be breaking anything out here, and just use the winch if we need to. We should be right, no need to rush. Well, it takes pretty slow filming anyway, so we'll just get out and check out each obstacle and that, see how we go. All good so far, super fun, like really technical, low range crawling through rocks and ruts and holes. Nothing where I've thought I'm going to get stuck or this is getting pretty hectic. It's all just been reasonably casual in a, well set up vehicle like this. Got another big rutted out section here to contend with. fun out here so far. I'll be super stoked if we can just drive the whole track like this and not have to winch or anything. Such a fun track. This sort of vehicle is probably the minimum you want to do it comfortably. You want, you definitely want a locker or a heap of suspension travel on a solid axle patrol or Land Cruiser or something.
You have a locker.
Yeah, I know, that's what I'm saying. That's why we're good for it, because we got a locker. 32, 33 inch tyres. Falling a bit all over here, but we're just keep crawling up. You know, a bit of bar work's gonna help you. Winch if you're on your own. You know, I'm talking now, but we've still got to see when it's still not at the top yet, and I think the hardest bits are yet to come, so I'll probably bite my words soon. Came up all of that first section, was just so much fun, and then you sort of cruise along the ridgeline for about a kilometre, which is all easy. And now we've got the final climb up to the top, which I've heard this is the one with the hardest bits on it. We've got some stuff here now, but it's all good. There is a harder line on this, like there's an up here, which is pretty insane, but I won't be doing that. But for me, there's a reasonable line around there, it's not too bad. Damn it, I stalled it. I was thinking I might be able to drive this whole track without one single screw up. Little stall there on that bit. Because I'm by myself, I just go real slow. That way, if I get my line wrong and I've sort of diffed out or something, I'm not going to give something a big whack. It's just like a real slow, and you can get up most things pretty slow anyway, especially this sort of terrain. That's annoying. I just turned in too early there and got the line all sort of mixed up, and I've just sat it on both rock sliders on both sides. It's jammed it. A little bit of rock packing there, and I was able to get it back off there. We'll try again and hopefully do a little better this time. There we go, we're up. A little bit of bump on that second one as well, just to make sure it slid up over those rock sliders. Thank goodness for rock sliders. I was sitting on them on both sides there, but I don't know what I was thinking there. I just kind of came up and turned in too early and just wedged it, so it's held wider. A little bit of bounce and I'm up. Does that count as getting stuck? I didn't have to winch out, we just had to pack a couple of rocks. We'll keep going. Up the top, made it at the top of Monkey Gum solo. What an awesome track that was, so much fun. Didn't have to winch, just had to pack a few rocks there where I got stuck that one time. Here's the ladder up to the lookout. We'll go up there in a minute and have a look. That other crew was just up the top as I got here, but they've gone now. Gonna have a little bit of lunch. Oh man, super happy with how it all went getting up there. What an awesome track. Definitely drivable, reasonably comfortable in a car like that. If you got some experience, you know, stock vehicle is gonna struggle. You really want either a locker or a lot of flex to flex your way through those holes. One locker is gonna probably be your best bet. How was that car? Yeah. So much fun. You're like, wow, Dad, what Congrats, Dad. You're the best dad in the whole wide world. You're the sickest driver. Can't believe you got all the way up there. So proud of you. Teach me everything.
I expected it to be like an actual cool one.
Nothing's ever cool enough for you. There's a view from up the top there. Once you come to this lady, you come to this rock platform, you got a big view out over the whole valley there. You can see that's the power lines over the other side. So that's where we came in yesterday, and then we dropped down into the valley. Down over there was Wombat Flats and that. And you sort of come up, back up through the middle, and then back up here again up Monkey Gum. Pretty cool valley through all this, with big rock shelves all around it. Definitely be coming back here to do this track again one day. Still got to sort of drive up out of here now, but I assume the rest of it's quite easy. We're up at the top now, but up on the plateau. I love coming to these places and exploring these new areas and new tracks. It's always that bit of nerves and uncertainty and not sure what it's going to be like. It's always hard. You know, some people said don't think about doing it solo, and then others said you'll be fine, and you never know, but in the end it ended up being all good and a hell of a lot of fun.
I won't sleep, don't you know? I was born a dancer, and all I need is to let go. 'Cause I was born a dancer. I wanna shake that ass. Do you really not know that I was born a
We're all out of that Monkey Gum fire trail now. That looks so cool on the drone coming out that last bit along that ridge line. We actually decided we're going to end the trip there. We're getting pretty worn out and hot and dusty, and we've been on the road 12 days now, I think. Sort of keen to get home to a shower. Guy's keen to get home to his dog. It's such an awesome trip away, that one. We saw so many cool places. Those river crossings at the start of the trip, you know, really pushing the limits there of river crossings in those floods. And then that Monkey Gum to end it off, sort of end the trip on a high note there. That was just such an unreal track. Glad we didn't have Dad with us for that Monkey Gum, because that would have been a nightmare trying to get that MUX up there. 32s and no locker and useless traction control would have been a nightmare. Well, he's going to get a locker soon, hopefully, and once he gets a locker we'll take him back, and I reckon he'll be able to drive up there. It'll be a good test for him with the new locker. It's always hard to know tracks, where to draw the limit, what to take on, what to not take on. I've taken on a lot of tracks now solo that, you know, really do push the limits. I'm trying to think, like probably the hardest ones I've done, maybe, you know, like Lake Cumberland in Tassie. Some of those trails at Coffs are just so steep. They're just scary steep. That was the thing with Monkey Gum. It was very rutted out with some big holes and decent sized steps and that, but not a steep track. You know, you're going up, but it's not super steep. So when you're on those, it's very off camber. You're on a lot of angles, but you're not also vertical up a hill as well. Like, you got the tracks that Coffs, and they're just, you're pointing skyward, and that's what starts to scare you when you're pointing skyward, and you're on an angle with a big rock step and rut. You know, Monkey Gum isn't too bad for, you know, someone with decent amount of forward driving experience. You know, with all my forward driving experience and this car set up the way it is, I was able to drive that reasonably comfortably without too much stress, just really working on picking those lines. If you want to support the trips and the videos, you can over at Patreon. You get early access to the videos there, and I sort of answer all the questions on there first. I just get bombarded with that many questions sort of these days between Facebook, Instagram and YouTube. Like, I try to get back as many as I can, but it can be hard. On Patreon I do a behind the scenes video of all these trips, so once a month I'll do a behind the scenes video. I'll do one of this trip, sort of run through on the map where we went and all the spots, so you can sort of follow in the steps of this trip as well, just because I don't give away all of it really on YouTube, so that way give back to the people on Patreon. It was a good test, that last one, for the new train canopy setup as well. Seems to handle it, you know, similar to the old setup. I think it feels slightly more tippy, especially the rooftop tent up the top and more towards the back, but even a track like that you're lifting wheels and quite off camber, it still felt like, you know, the car's still capable and still there up to the challenge. So quite happy with all that. Love the new train canopy setup as well, and made this, like, camping on the road, everything so much better and easier keep everything out of the weather. You got heaps more room back there. And I realised I still got my hair like this for all this talking. I was going like, what the hell? We got cooked up a little bit of. The plan today is to. There we go, we're up. A little bit of